what's up you guys? Today we are doing a Shop My Stash video. Okay, so I film these videos on Fridays and then I start my new makeup cycle on Saturday and they go live on Monday. It's a little bit weird, but I found that it's the best way that works, like my schedule and when I film and things like that. So I'm actually uploading the video that is going up today, like when I'm filming this, which is Friday, my Everything I Hit Pan on video right now. So in that video, I asked you guys thoughts about this background versus my old one, which was the black one with a skeleton doing yoga. And I asked you guys to leave me your thoughts in the comments. That question still stands, but obviously at this point in time, I haven't had a chance to get any feedback yet. So we're gonna film with this one today and we'll see what everybody says. So if you didn't vote last time, vote down below in this one. We're doing a Shop My Stash. I really want to thank you guys for all of the opinions and comments that you've been leaving with all of the various questions that I've asked you. I want to make sure that I'm creating content that you enjoy, but that I also enjoy making. So like little things here and there, it's really good to get your guys' opinions on. So I heard from quite a few people that you liked the Shop My Stash better when I was doing the first, like the previous week's cycle and then next week's cycle instead of kind of going back and forth based on each product. So that's what we're going to go back to because honestly, that is much less confusing to film as well. So if that's what you guys enjoy, that's what we're gonna do because it's easier for both parties to follow along with. So we are doing a Shop My Stash today. This is my previous week's makeup basket. I did the random number generator. I have my next week's weekly makeup basket, bi-weekly makeup basket right next to me over here. And I'm gonna walk you guys through some products. So I'm really excited about this because I am gonna start a pan on every palette project in the near future. I'm hoping to get that started very soon, in which case this will be like my last cycle without that project in mind. I don't know. I know it's going to be soon though because I want to pan some more stuff. I'm pumped. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this. These videos are always stupid long for me and it's because I can't ever just shut up. So we're gonna go through in order of how I do my makeup. So for color corrector, I was using the Urban Decay Naked Skin color correcting fluid in Peach. This was okay. I like these fluids from them, but this one I felt was much thicker than the other ones that I have are, and I'm not entirely sure why. I loved the color though. It was beautiful. I think it's beautiful underneath my eyes. And I am wearing all of this makeup from the last cycle on my face today. If you're curious, this is literally like everything I'm wearing. I do like this. It's just, it seems like it's thicker to me and that kind of weirds me out a little bit, I guess. So this isn't my favorite one that they've done, but I do like it. For primer, I was using the Urban Decay Rebound Collagen Infused Complexion Prep Priming Spray. This was brand new to my collection. I just picked this up in a recent video that I did. I actually did really like this. This was really great. I really like spray-on primers because I feel like they're so easy to use because it's literally just spritz. This one was really great. Of course, I'm like a total fangirl for anything Urban Decay though. I'm really wanting that new collection, that like stoned collection they're putting out. I'm trying so hard to resist, but it's so freaking, like it screams my name. Anyways, this was great. I really liked this. I don't know if, so this has like skincare benefits. It's collagen infused. It's supposed to firm, smooth, and boost radiance. I don't know if I would say that it did any of that. For keep in mind, like this basket of makeup I'm using, I'm also using in conjunction with like Project Pan makeup, so I didn't use this as often as I could have if I didn't have like primers in my Project Pans. But when I did use this, I liked it. I just don't think I can speak for like the skincare benefits of it. For foundation, we had the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is in the shade 2 Neutral. I actually really liked this. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this foundation. I think it's beautiful. It comes with a pump, which I love. The packaging is stunning. It's a really thin formula. It really doesn't provide a ton of coverage. I would call this like light to medium. It does stay though, I will give it that. It's got pretty decent staying power. And I think it looks like, so I've heard that it doesn't look natural on the skin. I've heard some people say that it looks like makeup. It doesn't look like skin at all. I don't personally find that for me. Like, I think this looks beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. It really does provide just such a nice, like almost flush of foundation, if that makes any sense. It's really hard to describe, but it's a thinner formula, but I really do think that it looked great on my skin and I really enjoyed it. Like, I'm down for that. For concealer, I was using that Catrice Cosmetics Camoflauge Concealer. I actually used that all the way up. I didn't think I was going to. I mentioned I might in my last video. It's possible, who knows. I ended up using the whole thing up. So I used the random number generator to get me a new concealer, and that was the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Hydrating Concealer in 310 Porcelain. This, like, I just got this recently, and this has been settling really weird, and I don't know why. But it's a good concealer. I don't have anything, I mean, like, I don't know, it's a concealer. It's good, but it's not, I like it. I'm not like blown away by it. Like it was good. For cream products, I only had 2 this last cycle. The Uoma, I'm never gonna be able to say this name. No, I don't know. This is the Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick in White Pearl. So this has the contour stick, the cream contour on one side, and a cream highlight on the other side. This is what I use for both contour and highlight as far as cream products go this past 2 weeks. I love this. I've used this before. I only have a couple of cream contour products, so this pops up all the time. I freaking love this. It is so good. This contour shade has the perfect like gray undertone. It's beautiful. This glides on and blends out so gorgeously. I can't, y'all, like jump on this because I've never heard about that. And it's insane. Like, it's such a good product. And then I had the Colourpop and Bitti collection Super Shock Cheek in Sugarcoated. I got some decent use out of this, honestly. I thought it was going to be a bit too bright, but it blended out really nicely, and I really loved how that looked on my skin tone. This is so pretty. Like, genuinely, I'll give you a little swatch. It's like super hot pink, but it blends out so nicely. It's so gorgeous. I loved it. I really wish that, like, I don't know if they've got a dupe for this in their permanent line. I know that this one was limited edition, but it's so gorgeous. And they need to bring like that shade either back or more prevalent to the front row, something like that. For powder, I use the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Skin Smoothing Pressed Powder. Okay, so this was good. I really liked it. But I have a packaging issue with mine. That keeps happening. I really need to glue this back down, and I know that. But the powder itself is beautiful. I really like it. It does what it's supposed to do, and the packaging is so stinking cute. So this was a win for me. This was also like a recently purchased item that just like wasn't glued down properly. I don't know. For bronzer slash contour in the powder line, we used the Fiona Stiles. This is the Bronzing Sun Veil in Ahiko. I love this. I have a nice little dip going in it now, which I'm very excited about, but this is just such a beautiful like contour bronzery shade. This is supposed to be a bronzer, but I use it as a contour because it works so well, and this blends out so well, and I love this. I love this. Said in the last video, I don't remember if you can get this anymore or not. If I can find it, I'll link it down below, but this is so good. I used the Morphe 8C Cool Pro blush palette. Okay, so I actually used a lot of these different shades. I tried to use a different one every day, but it turns out I primarily stuck to like this little section. I didn't really go into the deeper shades, which I totally blame on the fact that it is still like 120 degrees in Arizona right now, and I'm not really feeling like the deeper shades that I would in like the winter time, so I kind of stuck towards the more summery shades. I have some nice brush marks on my pans, but obviously like no progress or anything because they're blushes in a blush palette. But I was pretty surprised by these. I think they're beautiful. They blend out really nicely. They don't last all day. Like, the blush is one of the things when using this that fades from my face first, which I don't love. But these palettes are really affordable. They're good if you're just trying things out, or if you want like a whole bunch of different blush options all in one. I'd probably purchase one again. Probably, because I can always reapply blush. I don't know. I love the shades. I think they're absolutely stunning. I just don't love the fact that it doesn't last all day, but I also don't like hate it because of that. Does that make sense? Maybe. I also used the Dose of Colors. This is the Baked Highlighter in Peach Glow. Oh, this is so beautiful. Like, I genuinely just cannot even with this. It's so gorgeous. I love the glow that it gives. It's kind of in between like a blinding glow and a barely there glow, and like you can build it up to make it whichever you want. Like, it starts off as like, oh, just a nice hint of glow from within, but you can build this up and have it popping. I freaking love this. This is such a, I don't know why nobody talks about these. Dose of Colors I feel like is super slept on, and they've got some really good gems mixed in there. I used the Milani Liquid Eye Liquid Like Eyeliner Pencil in Purple. This is from my Project Pan bin because it's old. It's old. I have no idea how much is in it because it won't screw back down. But my goal is to try to finish this up at some point in the near future here. I like this. I've always liked it, which is why I still have it years later. Like, it's probably not good to use anymore. But I broke off the tip, and like that makes it better, right? I don't know. I love this liner though. It's really good. The Cargo HD Picture Perfect Eyeshadow Primer. Seriously, so this is one of those things that it's in my collection. I've used up a decent amount of it, so like I do use it. And it's one of those things that I don't ever think about until I use it, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's right. I loved this. This blends out so well. It like seamlessly blends into the skin. It doesn't affect any eyeshadow I'm wearing. Like, I haven't had any issues with any eyeshadow whatsoever while wearing this. This is one of my favorite eye primers. Nobody ever talks about it though, and it always just kind of gets lost because it's in a very unassuming plain black tube. It just gets lost, but it's so good. And then for brows, I used the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in Java. My brow spoolie on this is disgusting, but I actually really liked this. Like, it's just a really plain, simple, dark brown eyebrow pencil. I really liked it though. I think it did really nicely on my brows, and it lasts all day, and that's really like, what more could you ask for? These skinny pencils are my favorite brow products to use, so it worked. For eyeshadow palettes, I used the Be Bella Cosmetics Champagne Kisses 1. This was a palette from Fashionista, I think. I have a lot to say. So first of all, this is what the palette looks like now. I'm gonna give you all a close-up just so you can see like the usage in this palette. I used this for 2 weeks. I want that to be made perfectly clear. There's dips in several of these shades, which, like, cool, like I'm really glad I'm getting use out of it, but like I only use this for 2 weeks. Like, I should not have pan and a whole bunch of dips, and like it's just like there's so much usage on this. And here's my issue. Pans themselves are very, very shallow. There's not a whole lot of product in there. So like this I used as a highlight for my brow bone and my inner corner, and I hit pan after a week and a half, like something crazy like that. And I didn't use like that much. So then I switched to the shade right here, which I didn't hit pan in, but I do have a nice dip. Supernova, I have a nice dip. Rosé, there's a bunch of brush marks on Fancy and Vintage. So I don't love that. This has a lot of fallout too, which I definitely think helps you hit pan faster, obviously. I don't know. It's an okay palette. It's better than I thought it was going to be. However, I wouldn't recommend like anybody go out and purchase this because there's way better formulas out there. And with how much usage I got in this in 2 weeks, it kind of concerns me, like if I were to try to pan this whole palette, how long would that take me? I don't love it as much as I thought I was going to. I will say it took me forever to realize that like each little section of 4 you can use as its own quad. So today I used this little section as a quad, and honestly, they didn't blend very well. They just kind of all blended into a mess, and I tried to fix it as best as I could, but I'm not loving my eyeshadow today. It's not my favorite. Like, I'm gonna keep it. I'm still gonna try to make it work, but it's definitely not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. So then I was also using the Seraphine Botanicals Luna Liner. This is a liquid liner, just a stark black liquid liner. I liked this. It was great. I feel like this cycle was the first cycle that I've ever used this in, and it worked out pretty well for me, so I'm cool with that. But it was just a regular plain black liner. I didn't have any issues with it. And then for lippies, I used the Colourpop Lippie pencil in Lil One. I had to sharpen this quite a few times. In fact, now it's kind of lifting up because it's been sharpened so much. This is a really beautiful nude shade though. I actually like this a lot more than I expected to, and I expected to really like it, so that should tell you something. But this was pretty good. I really loved the way it looked. I feel like my lips are extra dry this week though, and that's the only thing that's really changed from what I've been wearing. So I don't know if it's because of that, but if my lips go back to being super hydrated after I stop using this, I'm gonna have to side-eye that because I don't know why they're so dry, but they're insanely dry right now. And then for like my actual lip color, what have you, I was using the Jeffree Star, the Gloss in Ice Cold. This is in my Project Pan bin, trying to get rid of my Jeffree Star products since I no longer support him. So eventually, I think actually this is in a current Project Pan, I believe. This just came up in the random number generator. So this will be going back into that Project Pan. Honestly, this is the first time that I really like used his glosses. They smell beautiful. I will give him that. They're not very sticky, but like maybe it's just this shade. It doesn't do much for me. So meh. Nah. And then for setting spray, I use the Tarte Stay Spray Setting Spray. This was okay. After using it in the heat, I don't love it. It doesn't keep everything as nice as I would like it to be kept, but it does work okay. I would just recommend this like if you're gonna have like a light day, just kind of a stay-at-home day, maybe some light cleaning, this would be good. But if you're going out in any type of heat or if you're gonna be sweating at all, I would stick to like Urban Decay All Nighter or something along those lines, because this just doesn't hold up to what I would like it to hold up to, if that makes sense. It is a fine setting spray. Just for the, like if you get used to those really good setting sprays that like nothing will take your makeup off, this doesn't do it for me. Okay, so now we are going to talk about my upcoming cycle of my bi-weekly makeup basket. So we're gonna start with color corrector. This is the Smashbox Color Correcting Stick in Get Less Red. Random number generator chose all of these products. I have used this before. I think I've sharpened it a couple of times. It's okay. I don't have a ton of redness on my face, but it is nice to have when I do have redness. And I have a lot of redness now because I'm breaking out for God knows what reason. It is nice. I like it. That'll be fun to use. For primer, I'm going to use the Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. This one I've never used before. It's been in my collection for a little bit now, and I haven't ever used it. I'm really excited to. I've heard mixed reviews about this one as well, so I'm excited to try it out because I do like their whole tape line, I will say. I'm excited to give that a shot. And then for foundation, I actually just posted a Foundation Friday about this because this is relatively new to my collection. This is the Ulta Beauty Effortless Effect Medium Coverage Hydrating Foundation. At some point in time, they had a coupon code that they emailed me for a free one of these, I think with like any purchase. So I took advantage of that. I expected it to have a pump based on how the cap looks, but it doesn't. It's still sealed. So I got mine in the shade Light Cool. This has horrible reviews on the Ulta website, so I'm really excited to try it just to see if it's decent or if it does live up to the bad hype that it has, but it should be interesting to see. This is brand new. I haven't used it yet, so I'm excited. And then for concealer, I'm really excited about this. This is a new-ish product. I have not used it. I've been waiting for it to pop up in the random number generator. This is the IT Cosmetics Perfect Lighting Radiant Touch Magic Wand in Radiant Neutral. I really like these like wand type concealers. I typically have really good luck with them, and I love IT Cosmetics. Y'all know how much I love IT Cosmetics. So I'm really excited to try that out. All right, cream products this week. For cream bronzer, I use that term loosely. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Candlelight. I've used these before, and it's a really interesting experience to try to bronze with these, but these are just so dark. I don't really know like what else to do with them. So that's kind of what the shade looks like, and then you just kind of blend it out like that. Obviously on my face, I try to blend it out a little bit better. But it's interesting to try to use these as a cream bronzer. Like I said, it's just so dark. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with it, so that's how I'm trying to use it up. I had another shade of this that was almost the same, like it was a very similar shade, and it ended up going bad. So hopefully I can use up some more of this before it completely goes bad, because these little suckers are expensive, like ridiculously expensive. But the highlight drops are gorgeous. For cream blush, I put it through the random number generator and it gave me the exact same one as last week, the Colourpop and Bitti Super Shock Cheek in Sugar Coated, which I'm okay with because I really enjoyed this last week. So I will be continuing to use this into the next cycle as well. And then for highlight, it pulled up the Tarte Twinkle Stick Highlighter in Skylight. I've used this a couple of times. It is so pretty. Yes. Oh my god. And I'm excited to get to play around with it some more because I haven't gotten to play around with it as much as I would like to. This one, for whatever reason, doesn't get picked a lot in the random number generator. So I'm pretty amped up for that. I'm trying to like keep all of this together and sorted. Okay, for powder products, for bronzer, the random number generator actually selected one that is in my Project Pan bin, which I'm excited about because that means that I can get some more use on it and work on moving it out of my collection. But it chose the Physicians Formula. This is the Summer Eclipse Radiant Bronzing Powder in Moonlight. I don't even know if anybody like remembers these. These are so old. I've had this for so long. It is really pretty though. Just right there. I don't even know if you can see that. It's a very light bronzer. I'm excited to get to use this some more though. I've had this in my collection forever. I've never really reached for it very much. And now I'm trying to move it out of my collection because as far as I'm aware, Physicians Formula is like no longer cruelty free. So I try to get it use it up, move it out. So I'm happy because that'll give me some more time to play around with that. I did select a face palette. I don't know how I'm going to do the face palettes in the upcoming future when I start doing the pan in every palette, because I'm going to try to do a pan in every face palette. But I did do a face palette for this week. This is the Too Faced the Love Flush Blush Wardrobe. I've actually made really good progress on the How Deep Is Your Love blush, if you can see that. It's the only one that has like absolutely zero imprint left, so who knows how that's gonna go. I really like this though. I love this formula of blushes, and I ended up picking this up like when it launched because it was much cheaper than buying the full-size blushes, and I figured this was like probably way better for me than having all of those full-size blushes. I really enjoy this palette though. I don't love the packaging because it's such an odd shape, but I love the products inside. I completely forgot to talk about my pressed powders. Let's talk about that really quick. The CoverGirl Outlast All Day Matte Finishing Powder. This does have a pan in it. It is ever so slightly too dark for me, so I'm going to try to make it work in the upcoming couple of weeks though, and hopefully I'll get more usage out of that. But I like this powder. It's a really great powder, so I'm happy to use it for a couple more weeks. And then for a powder highlight, I have the Essence Pure Nude Highlight. This one I recently picked up, and I had it in a video on like affordable makeup. It's okay. It's not really like my... See, you can't, it's like it's a nude highlight. Like when they say nude, they mean nude. There's not a whole lot of shine to it, not like what I would want. So it's definitely not my favorite highlight, but it's in my collection. I purchased it. I don't want that to go to waste, so I'm going to give it another shot, try it again. We'll have to see how it goes. For eyes, for regular eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Zero. These are my absolute favorite liners. Zero is what I wore for most of my high school life. I love this though, so I'm really excited to finally get to use these again because they haven't gotten chosen in what seems like forever. For eye base, I'm going to do something a little bit different these upcoming weeks. This is the CoverGirl True Naked Queen Ship Cream Shadow Stick. So this is kind of like a cream shadow, but the shade of it, such a pale shade. So it's like a nude for me anyways. And it almost has the consistency of like a cream concealer, I guess, like a stick concealer. So I'm going to try it out as an eyeshadow primer, and we'll kind of see how that goes, because this isn't something, normally if I'm wearing cream eyeshadows, I'm doing it as like a topper or instead of, and this is just so light that I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with that. So I'm going to try it as an eye primer instead to see if I can make it work that way. For brows, I'm actually going to use two products this week. For my actual brow color, I'm going to use the Milani Stay Put Brow Color. This is an 05 dark brown. I have a little dip going in there, but nothing too crazy. I remember liking this one, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll give this another shot over the upcoming couple of weeks. And then I'm also going to bring in the Billion Dollar Brows Brow Duo Pencil. This is a concealer and a highlight pencil. So there's your concealer shade. Oop. And then here is your highlight shade. This I got, I think, in like a BoxyCharm, and I've used it a few times. I'm going to try to use it some more, because I don't know exactly how I feel about it yet, so we'll have to see how that goes. For eyeshadow palette, I'm so excited because you guys know this is one of my favorites. This is the A Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. I'm very close to hitting pan in a couple of the shades in here. I've got dips in pretty much everything but the mattes, it looks like, and I'm really excited to bring this in. I'm still using my Project Pan stuff, but I feel like this is going to be great as a break palette if I want to take a break from the Project Pan palette, or even as a companion palette, because it's got some really beautiful shades in here. I love this. This is seriously one of my all-time favorite palettes. It's so great. So I'm very excited that that popped up in the random number generator. For topper, this was chosen as one of my eyeshadows for the week. This was the first one, so we're going with it, but I'm going to use this as an eyeshadow topper. This is the Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in Opal Ice, which is beautiful. I don't love the packaging of this because I find it's pretty difficult to like actually get product out, but it's so stunning. I think it's going to look great with some pinky looks or some blue looks or some purple looks, or really any looks. Opal, like, oh, it's gonna look really good. I'm really excited about that because this is a shade that I have not used very often. And then for liquid eyeliner, the NYX Vivid Brights the Colored Liquid Liner in Vivid Blossom. This is like a very light purple lilac-y shade, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how I pull that off, but I'm thinking if I do kind of more looks that lean towards purple or neutral, I'll be able to use this pretty consistently. We'll have to see how it goes, but I have good feelings about it. Last couple of products, my Lippies for lip liner or lip primer, whichever one. This happens to be a lip liner. This is the Stila Stay All Day Lip Liner in Sangria, which is a beautiful, like, bright ass pink shade. Not my typical. I honestly could not tell you where I got this from, but we're gonna try to make it work. My lip color that was chosen this week is the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in Pitter Ponder, which from the outside, I'm thinking that those are gonna go pretty decently well together. They're both very bright pinks, but they do have like different undertones and they're slightly different shades. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull together and what kind of things that I can do with these, but I'm excited about it. And then for setting spray, the random number generator, once again, chose the Tarte Stay Spray setting spray. I don't know how it came up again. I almost changed it, but then I was like, nope, we gotta stick to what the random number generator says. So another couple weeks of using this, who knows, maybe my opinion will change. Probably not, but I guess there's always the chance. So that is my weekly makeup basket for the last 2 weeks and the upcoming 2 weeks. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are using in your weekly makeup baskets these days. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please make sure you hit that bigger subscribe button below me if you'd like to see more of me. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me today and have a good one. Bye!